nigga, kiss the death friend, protect your neck. She ain't on the three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger. Money over my headstone. Here lies young getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my headstone.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Our first carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Gotta go, gotta go.
Now Trubisky to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kerry Hyder in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Golden Tate. This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Hey, tag 32! Tag 32! 32! 22!
3rd and 2, Stafford. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. This is taken around the 12. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
18.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Through left side, complete. It's Burton. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22. On 1st down, they run with Howard. A gain of 3, 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
2nd and goal from the 1. They come out here in the eye. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd and goal, Trubisky buying time to his left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through. Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 13.
21. Set.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Leonard Floyd. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Hey, 10, 22. Hey, 22. Set, lady. Give me radar. Go, track 53.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw, Stafford. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Jones. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And his kick is good. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now it's Stafford going underneath to Blount. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Stay 50.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And he fields it cleanly. Fancy footwork at the 45. And there he goes again. Touchdown, Bears.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one "A Half to Remember," wouldn't you? His 2nd return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him the ball.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
The first run for the backup, Abdullah. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
On first down, Stafford here. Out to the flat for Reddick. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Stafford. This is screen to Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Lions on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Throwing again is Stafford. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. This is Howard on second down. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on second and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
18. Gotta go.
On first down, Trubisky. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, 18.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. Parkey with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. So here come the Lions now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
10. Hey, 22.
On 1st and 10, Stafford looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Gotta go. Red, up.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. And it's caught. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Trey Burton in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears add on. And he knocks it through. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The drive starts with a handoff to Ball. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going. They just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Stafford got his man complete over the middle. That's Tate. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
This is Riddick on the screen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Stafford now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Now a carry for Blount. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge, getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
To the right and complete to Galladay. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The Lions on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, give me radar. Set. 180.
Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Let's go. Hey. 4 down.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Bears on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Trubisky will throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They run. This is Cohen. And he's got some space here. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
18.
Now Trubisky on first down. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
This is Cohen. And an alley to run. 34 yards there and a first down.
That's a big league run. Takes them down inside the 5-yard line, and momentum definitely on the side of the guys on offense. And if you're an offensive lineman, you love to run the football, especially out in the field where there's some space. But I will get you in on a little bit of a secret. Those guys like it in tight, too, because they get matched up and they get to show just how stout they are in a tough situation. They're recommending they run it again.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Come on.
Trubisky going to take it on the sneak, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky, his third touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Bears continue to pour it on. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Stafford on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw on second down to Stafford. Flush to his right. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now a first down throw. Stafford completes it to Blunt. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 24 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the red zone now, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Here's Stafford now on second down. He's got his man. This is Tate. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Jumbo, set. White. Zebra.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are in for 6.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, what a move. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Let's go, let's go. Hang on, we go. You see it, you see it? Red, up.
Play action. Now Trubisky. Looking deep for Gabriel. Got his man complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. That goes for a gain of 31. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And he stopped immediately there. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
You see it?
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Hey, gotta go.
On second down, here's Trubisky. This is Gabriel on the catch. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Off the toss, Cohen. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And he takes a shot on And the release, as this will be incomplete. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Parkey with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because...
You're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Stafford now to throw. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
Gotta go.
A give to Howard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything.